Hello, YouTubers. This is Cynthia and I could bring you a new podcast for a new segment called Power Rangers Origins. Now, like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very slowly, and very clearly in case you don't understand me. Now, if you're wondering what that noise is in the background, that's just my fan. So if you're wondering what that noise in the background, that's just my fan. Now, let's get into it. Power Rangers Time Force. This is for no. This is the last Power Rangers series that Saban produced before selling the franchise to Disney. Now, anyway, let's get into it. In the year 3000, free practice science and technology advanced so much. People are born with perfect DNA, but those those but there's like basically like you have a perfect product, you always have a waste, some type of waste. That's when you take a waste to get rid of. So by perfect using by people who do have perfect DNA, the process is making humans with perfect DNA also created monsters and humans. Anyway, that's this man named Wendick was Wendick started a war against the humans. Even though he is a mutant, but he's a human mutant, so basically he's half. Anyway, during a rampage, you attacked a special police called the Time Force. Who was sent to capture Randic during a bus. Four of these four of them. You got Katie, the Yellow Ranger. You got Trip, the Green Ranger. You got Lucas, the Blue Ranger. You got Jen, the Pink Ranger, and Alex, the Red Ranger. But the funny thing is, only Alex, the Red Ranger, had a morpher. Was able to morph into Rangers. The other four policy teams didn't have morphers. Like him, for some reason. Anyway, what Alex and his team was able to catch a Ranger in the Bungalow justice on trial. He was sentenced to cryogenics. He froze in at the cryo prison with all the captured mutants, all the other mutant criminals that Time Force captured through time or whenever and shit like that. So Jen, Katie, Trip, Chicken Lucas was in charge of transferring Randic to the prison. So during the transfer, the truck, the convoy that was going running to the choir prison got ambushed by Wentic's daughter named Vera and the Wentic robot servant named Flax, and a help of Flax's robot footman called the Choirbots. So they managed to bust Wentic out and whatnot, and it looked at the other like Jen and the other four Rangers tried to stop them, but they failed. So they're talking about their superior about they talked to the head of Time for to tell her that when to escape during transport and whatnot. He was upset. So he tells him to stay where you are. I should add us to we catch it Wangik. So Jen and the others ignored the orders from the head of Time for them after Wangik. Wangik went to the choir prisons to the choir prison and took it over. Then so Wangik went on. While Fox is doing some, Fox was hacking into the choir prison computer, so Wangik, so he told me to stay with Fox while he goes on the roof and be a lookout for the Time Force police. Anyway, Alex shows up. Him and Wangik had a big fight. Basically, during the fight, Wangik had the upper hand. Got the upper hand. The other four showed up and tried to take back the choir prison, but they failed. But Jim went up to the roof and tried to help Alex, Jen is Alex's fiance, so she went up to try to help him against Wangik, but Wangik had Alex at his mercy, so one bullet to the shore, Alex was got killed by one bullet to his sword. Wangik Fax tells him that the cryo prison is ready for time travel, so he went there. So he went back into the cryo prison. It turns out the cryo prison is some type of damn spaceship that broke off the main building of the prison and went to the year 2000. I think it was 2008. I believe it's been a while since I watched Time Force, so I think it was 2008. Anyway, before Alex died, he gave Jim he's choreographer in terms of do me a favor, Jim. Go after Rentic and go after Rentic and go after Rentic and take him down. And that was his last word. That was his last word. So a few hours later, back at Time Force, at Time Force headquarters, the head of Time Force was mad at Lucas, mad at Jim and the others for disobeying a direct order. So he tells them that you guys didn't get on a whole bunch of crap. You guys disobeyed that order. You let Lindsay get away with a quiet prison through a dangerous mutiny. Blah blah blah. So basically, you guys are off this case, and he threatened to kick them out. So basically he's telling you guys are all dismissed for now. Basically, so Jim and others managed to steal some Time Force tech and board a Time Force a time ship. They stole a time ship and went into the past. Went into the past to bring Rentic back to the future. When there was the time where Rentic was, the time ship was so badly damaged it was about to explode. With the help of the chicks robot Arrow Circuit, they managed to escape just in time. So basically, also with the tech with the Time Force tech they brought with them as well. Anyway, so Jim opened this briefcase. A briefcase there were these four choreographers. So he gave each of them one choreographer, and so they went to nearby cities look for Rentic. So by looking for Rentic, Jim bumped into Alex's ancestor named Wesley Collins. Wesley Collins looked just like Alex, but only he doesn't show his hair back. He don't take a hair gel at all. Anyway, so they had Jen was shocked when he saw West whatnot, after he saved him from one of Rentic's robot foot soldiers and whatnot. So basically, the others contact him that they found Rentic downtown on a rampage. So Jim rushed to the other cylinder, and they confronted Rentic. So he was like, Rentic's like, not you guys again, and blah blah blah. He said, we're gonna take you back to the time. So it's basically blah blah blah. So it's a little back and forth and shit like that. So when Jim and the other Rangers tried to use the choreographer, it turns out they couldn't. He's saying DNA lock is They said the DNA lock is on. You just use the red morpher to unlock the DNA lock. Turns out the red morpher has the DNA lock on it as well. So basically, they couldn't use the morpher. They couldn't use the red morpher to unlock their morpher. So while Alice's DNA. So basically, when they handed in the next 5 minutes, she just kicked their asses and just left. So Jen went back to Weston tells them the whole deal. She tells them that they're from the future. They need that we need your DNA to help us to unlock these quantumorphs and whatnot. Basically, in typical fashion, West thought she was crazy, and he didn't believe her, so he just whirled off on his motorcycle and said, just whirled off on his motorcycle, on his motorcycle. Basically, Ranger charges again on Ranger and the forces charges again. We're on another rampage. Jen and the other Rangers who tried to fight Ranger the best they could, but basically they got the asses handed to them again. So Ranger was about to finish him out of nowhere. That showed up on his motorcycle. And he said I'll help you unlock the morphers. So Jen gave it Alex's morpher. Black unlocked Alex's morpher. Then he rescues Alex's morpher to unlock the other Rangers' morpher as well. So they came the Time Force Ranger, and Ratchet came the Red Ranger. And basically, after being Ratchet's forces, Ratchet was treated and whatnot. So the Rangers powered down, transformed back to normal. Jen took the morpho, took Alex morpho back from West and tells him that thanks for your help and all, but we don't need you no more. It's like Wes was like, okay. And basically, just the other Rangers, with the help of the other Rangers, Wes was able to convince Jim that they needed his help with surviving the past and whatnot. So basically Jim gave him back to Alex's morpher, so he became the Red Ranger. Also, the Sixth Ranger, the Quantum Ranger, Merrick, was the first Sixth Ranger. The Sixth Ranger was the first Sixth Ranger that ever been red. Either the Sixth Rangers or either gold or silver, but this is the first time that the Sixth Ranger was red. So basically, it was two Red Rangers, but this called the Quantum Ranger. Basically, he got his powers first. He found some lost Time Force tech. Found some lost Time Force tech. Turned out that Time Force tech was a morpher. He became the Quantum Ranger. So here's my 2 cents. I say definitely see this series this was the last series that Saddam produced of Power Rangers. It was a very good series. It was a good piece of work on Saddam's on Saddam's side. You know, he did a really good job with Time Force. So definitely see it. So this is Tim Michael signing off. 1.